Hey there, Drew here. Welcome to Durham, Maine. And welcome to Shiloh. All right, very famous location here in the annals of bizarre cults. So, as you can see, that's a very pretty church there. It's definitely old. Built in 1896. Well, from 1896 to 1897. Now that's what you're seeing there. It was just essentially a tiny portion of what the whole facility looked like. So I'm going to put a picture up right here of how big the damn thing was back in the day. All right, so this was a famous cult back in the turn of this last century. Built by a guy named Frank Sandford, who was raised Baptist back in the day because he was born in 1862, you know, during the Civil War. Got exposed to a guy named Moody, something called British Israelism, which is about the need of the Anglo-American white race to go out and basically conquer the whole world. Yeah, and it's based upon this idea that Jesus eloped with Mary. You know, he didn't get killed on the cross, you know. No, he eloped, they had kids, and their kids wound up in England, so the royal family is descended from Jesus, right? So that's their thinking of why it's their duty to basically run the world. And the big thing, of course, is they need to have all the Jews in Israel so they can all get killed in the Battle of Armageddon. Yep. So if you know any of these Christian types that are, you know, fanatical for supporting Israel, that's the reason. They want them all to die in this big battle. You know? Yeah. Yeah, so in 1896, after hearing somebody whisper Armageddon, right? Yeah, that's when he started to build this thing, and eventually it became big enough so they had like 600 residents. I mean, it was big enough to hold 1,000 people, but largest they had was 600 living at this place. And he was also big into something called hands-on healing. He ran into this guy up in Illinois, yeah, John Alexander Dow, because they think that basically all disease was because of devil possession. So that's the reason behind that kind of thing about laying on of hands, right? Which resulted in a lot of people getting killed. And of course, what was going on here was because he was this really bossy, you know, my word, or, you know, my way or the highway. Yeah, he starved people because, you know, you're more pliable if you're hungry as hell, more controllable. And he was into whipping children. But yeah, he took voyages when he was on trial for, like I said, these abuses. Yeah, he went to Jerusalem for this project, you know, and eventually he wound up in Greenland, and some people died out of scurvy and starvation. And then that resulted in some prison time, and his good name was kind of besmirched. And eventually by 1920, this place was deserted, pretty much. But eventually this became just a normal kind of community church. So, as you can see, it's a nice old building. You know, this is definitely this Victorian era kind of architecture. Yeah. Yeah, so that's the story of Shiloh here in Durham, Maine. And I can't show you basically the old building, but I at least show you the picture of how it used to look. I did invite the Pentecostalists to come because they're connected with this guy who used to chum around him with Mr. Sandford. His name was Charles Parham. He was not a nice type. He was a Elmer Gantry type, you know, because he had mistresses, he was involved in embezzling. Basically he was, let's see, he tried to solicit a young boy, and for that, like I said, his reputation got really destroyed, and eventually he went on to be a stump speaker for the KKK. But he's famous because one of his students started this Pentecostal church in Los Angeles, at a place called Azusa Street. Yeah, you had black people just literally on the floor collapsing on, you know, because that's the Pentecostal way, is, you know, barking like a dog. I'm not kidding. Okay, so that's about it. I'll see you later. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye-bye.